Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the TCG Cast channel. It's your boy Zay, the resident Digimon expert here on the channel, and today we have an interesting game here. So essentially, we have on the left RedWargrey and me on the right playing Overheal. Now, this is a deck that I'm not sure that I have profiled yet on the channel, but I will definitely soon. And over here, this is me kind of adjusting my opponent's security, because couldn't necessarily see his fifth card, or I guess technically third card. So he hatches a starter deck Koromon, and essentially what that does is if you have four Digivolution sources, you get 1,000 power, which is pretty nice. He digivolves the Koromon to I believe, a Drachmon. And then after that, he hard plays a Marcus Damon for 4. So now I'm over here playing yellow. I hatch to my Upamon, and then I hard play Magna Angemon. Now this is a card that is pretty much seen over and over again on this channel. But essentially what that does is whenever you hard play it, you get to recover one. So it's pretty nice. So now my opponent pushes out his Darkmon or Drachmon, and then digivolves it to a Monochromon. So now he has a blocker on the field. And now he is trying to figure out what essentially to do next. So I believe what he does is he hard plays, yes, the Agumon from BT5. Unless you look at the top 3 for I think a Greymon or an Omnimon, and there were all 3 starter deck Agumons. Oh no, that's terrible. And he almost put all 3 of them back on top of his deck, but he's actually supposed to put them at the bottom, which he fixes now. So now he leaves me at 1 memory. And I Digivolve into Seraphimon, which essentially on Digivolve lets me recover. So if you look at my security, I'm at 3, 4, 5, 7 life right now. So I'm looking pretty good as opposed to my opponent right here. But my opponent is playing red, and red is known for being for having security attack +1 on multiple things, so he can kind of dwindle my security pretty quickly. So he digivolves into another Monochromon, so now he has 2 blockers on the field. He also hatches again to another Darkdramon. Then he plays Nuclear Laser for 3, which essentially lets him draw 2, and then I think he can kill like a 5,000 power Digimon or something like that. But I've only had my Seraphimon out here, so that's pretty much it. And he puts me on 1 memory. So with my Seraphimon, since I have Magna Angemon under it, for every 3 security I have, he gets plus 1,000. So right now, Seraphimon is at 12,000. And also, Seraphimon says that if I have 3 or more security, I get security attack +1. So now I'm swinging for 12 for 2. So now my opponent is kind of is looking like he could potentially be in shambles. And then I hard play another Magna Dramon or Magna Angemon. So now I'm at 8 security. Oh my goodness, that is a lot. That is a lot, even for me. I don't even heal this much whenever I play security control. So he pushes out his Drachmon. I can't see if it says, yeah, it is Drachmon. Okay. Then he digivolves into a Voltramon, which has the inheritable security +1. Then he digivolves into the Volcanic Dramon. This is from BT1. So that says, so it has security +1, and it is I believe a 10k. And he's swinging for 3 security essentially, but his first check is TK Takaishi, which lets me look at my security. I can find a yellow Digimon, and then I can heal one, which is fantastic. And I get Bushy Agumon just because if I remember correctly, I didn't have a rookie in hand, and I was in desperate need of a rookie. And I asked him if he wants to essentially show my security, which he doesn't. And then I check into a Turimon and then Chaos Dramon Valderarm, which kills his Volcanic Dramon, which kind of sucks for him. But now I'm kind of back at square one with 5 security. And so now my opponent is trying to figure out what else to do now. And if I remember correctly, he just hard plays like a level 3 or something, or okay, so he digivolves his Darkdramon into another Monochromon. So now he has 2 blockers on the field, and then he passes turn. And since I have TK Takaishi on field, my memory is boosted to back to 3. So I swing at my opponent's security. He is at 11, swinging for 2. So he hits into Darkdramon, and then what is the last card? I think it's I believe it's another nuclear laser, but he doesn't have a security effect after it. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm at 3. Oh, okay. So I digivolve into to my Magnadramon. So then I swing at my opponent's security, uses Magnadramon's effect that lets me play a level 3 for free, which was essentially Lucamon, and I was able to heal one. And now I play one of my favorite cards in yellow, which is Code Cracking, which basically says my opponent can either trash the top card of their security, but if they don't, I get to recover one. So of course my opponent decides not to trash the security, so I now heal a card. So now I am back to 7. I am back to 7. This deck is crazy. So now my opponent is trying to figure out what essentially to do, because I essentially have game next turn. Especially if I have another Bushy Agumon in hand, I could just swing with Magnadramon, play the Bushy for free, and then swing with the Bushy afterwards. So my opponent digivolves to Monochromon. So he's going from 4 to 2 or 4 to 1. Oh yes, because I played Code Cracking, yes. And then after that he just plays Agumon for 3, and he gets to search for an Omnimon and a Greymon. So I believe he gets the Omnimon X antibody, and then the starter deck Wargreymon. And we're kind of he originally thought that he couldn't get Omnimon X antibody, but he could, so I let him get it out of the bottom of his deck. Now, technically, if this was a tournament, I wouldn't let him do that. Well, if this was like a bigger tournament, I wouldn't let him do that. But since it's a local, and everything's fine, So now it is my turn. He doesn't have a blocker on the field, so essentially this is game. And I don't know why my opponent kind of kept the blocker out. Or it didn't cut the blocker out, but yeah. And so at this point, we were just having fun. And I played my second Code Cracking, and instead of letting me heal, he just took the life. So now he's back at 3 memory. He digivolves his Koromon into a Beelmon. And unless if he can like digivolve to a level 6 for 3, swing, and then play like the X antibody or something, then that'll be But he digivolves into the starter deck Wargreymon. And technically this is game. I'm not sure if I let if I give my opponent another round or whatnot. But I think we were both like slightly on a time constraint. Oh no, never mind. Okay, so I digivolve. Okay, yeah, and then I just swing for game. And then I'll just let them know that I had the Angelomon that could have essentially turned his Wargreymon into only doing 1 security instead of multiple. So yeah, that was game one. A very kind of commanding, a commanding game for me on the right. So yeah, so if you're liking the video so far, don't forget to like and also subscribe if you like the content. Um, this is, I believe, the third video for the Digibattle videos. Um, and just let me know in the comments, like, what do you like about them? What do you least like about them? Let me know. I like the feedback. Um, and I think the cool thing about my yellow deck, as you can see, me and my opponent are joking around. Um, As the thing I love about this yellow deck is code cracking. I love that card so much. And if you haven't seen the deck profile for this, definitely check this out in the on the channel, because code cracking is actually insane, especially if you're playing against an opponent that doesn't have any sort of healing at all. Which is basically every other deck except yellow. uh, but yes. Um, and another cool thing that I'm not sure is in this deck is I play the Yellow War Greymon only because since I'm like healing so much, I can kind of utilize the War Greymon's effect in which you can add a card from your life to your hand, and then you can unsuspend it, and then you can do minus 6,000 power to one of your opponent's Digimon, which is actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if it is showcased in this video or not, but it'll definitely be highlighted in the deck profile video. And so now we're starting off the second game of the match. My opponent decides to go to start first. He hatches a Koromon, Digivolves into the starter deck Agumon, which gives has the inheritable effect of 1,000 power on your turn, which is awesome. Then he Digivolves to a Monochromon to pass me one memory. Now I hatch into a Upamon, which with this Upamon, if my security is at 3 or less, whenever I attack, I get to draw a card. So then I Digivolve into a Bushy Agumon for free, and then Digivolve into a Unimon, hashtag horse with goggles. Shout out to my boy Jimmy. Digivolve that for 2. So now afterwards, kind of looking at my opponent's hand, he only has 1 level 5, or 2 level 5s actually. And I think he's thinking about playing the, yes, he is playing the Voltramon that has a security +1. And so now he passes to me. I push out my Unimon, and then I Digivolve into, I believe, oh no, I hard play, okay, so I hard play Patamon for 3 to keep him at 1 memory. So what that Patamon does is if I delete one of my opponent's Digimon by reducing his power to 0, I get to gain a memory. Which I think in the deck profile video that I have, I think I took this card out. It wasn't necessarily a necessity in this deck. So my opponent hatches his egg and swings with the Voltramon, checks into a TK Takaishi, and I pull out a Turiamon, which is the level 4, great level 4 in this deck, and then I get to shuffle my security. And now I think I'm at 4. Yes, I'm at 4 security. So now my opponent's trying to figure out what to do now, since my memory will go to 3 on my next turn, unless if he does something else. So he Digivolves into this Koromon to an Agumon. Classic. And I don't remember what he does here next. So he plays another nuclear laser for 3. He draws 2, and I think it doesn't kill anything. It just gives something a certain amount of power, but that's not gonna matter since his turn is over. So I Digivolve my Coupimon to a Salmon. Then I hard play uh, Starmon, which is from set 5, which when you hard play it, you do a minus 1000 power to one of your opponent's Digimon. So I did -3 to his rested Voltramon, so now he's at a 4K, and then I swing with it with Unimon to kill it, which is kind of OP in a way. So now I pass my opponent 3 memory. He digivolved into a I believe it was a starter deck. Starter deck Greymon with security +1, and then he evolved into the Metal Greymon to pass turn. So now I push out. I digivolve to a Turimon, and then I swing at my opponent's security because he doesn't have a blocker. It is I think Bergermon, which is a 4K, which definitely kills my Starmon. Then I swing with the Paddlemon, and then it triggers his Marcus Damon. So now he goes to 3 at the start of his turn. So then I digivolve my Patamon into a Turimon, and then I play Pulsemon to essentially draw a card, and then pass turn. So now he has 3 memory to work with. He hatches his Koromon. What else does he do here? He has the Volcanic Dramon in his hand. He could digivolve into that. But he digivolves his egg into a Agumon. And then afterwards, he's kind of contemplating about what to play next. Kind of looking from his hand from this perspective. I would probably play the Digivolve to the Voltramon. So let's see what he does. He plays the Agumon. Okay. Looks at the top 3, and it's a Bergermon, Wargreymon, and a Metal Greymon. So he only gets 1 hit, and he picks the Wargreymon. Which is not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. So now the real question is, what does he do here next? So he digivolves to a Monochromon to pass with 1 memory, but because of TK Takaishi, I go to 3. I restand all my Digimon, and I hatch. I have a decent amount of cards in my hand, so I digivolve into Pulsemon, draw a card. I guess the card I have in my hand is kind of good, kind of not good. I'm not entirely sure. So I swing at my opponent's security, and I use Salmon's effect to -1000 to his Monochromon. So if he tries to block, he dies. I check it to a Darktramon, which is I think at 4K, so I live. I swing with Pulsemon, and of course he blocks it. Then I think I use Turimon to kill his Monochromon. So now he doesn't have a blocker on the field. And then afterwards, I digivolve my Pulsemon into a Pedomon, which is the 1-cost blocker. Very nice. And I think, did I just digivolve to a level 5 after? Oh, I play Code Cracking again. Yes. And as you can see from my opponent, he was like, oh no, not this card. So I basically asked him, does he want me to heal 1 or does he want to get rid of his security? He lets me heal. So now I'm back up to 5 memory, or 5 security. So he pushes out his Agumon, and now he's trying to figure out what to do here next. If I was him, I would 100% Digivolve into Voltramon or Volcanic Dramon, but I don't think he does that actually. Let's see. What does he do? So he is going to use that to swing at my security. And he swings for 2 because of the Greymon. And I don't know why. I guess I didn't block for some reason. But he uses Marcus Damon since he swung with the Greymon card, he gets the gain of memory. Then he digivolves into the starter deck Wargreymon for 4. And now it's still his turn, which is not bad at all. The only thing though is that he needs to have a blocker or I have game this turn. Uh, so let's see what our opponent does here. He digivolves into he digivolves to the Omnimon with Blitz for 4. And so he uses this to what does he do here? He has, I believe, he's like 15 for 2 checks. And then I block. Now I totally forgot that the Metal Greymon makes it to where if I block, he gains 3 memory. But luckily, it was still on my turn, so I just go back to 3. So that kind of saved me in a way. So I Digivolve to Angelomon, whose effect is if I have 3 or less security, when I Digivolve, I get to recover 1. So now I'm back at 4. And then after that, I'm just like, oh, I have 3 Digimon, he has 2 things, so I should be good. So I swing, checks into a Zuba Eagermon. I swing again, checks to another Agumon, and I swing with the Angelomon for game. And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Overheal with a 2-0 victory. As the video kind of replays again. But I appreciate all you guys for watching the video. I hope you like it. Like I mentioned earlier, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me what you thought about the video. And yeah, with that being said, I've been Zay, the resident Digimon expert on the TCG Cast channel, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.